Okay, this is going to be a super quick video going over the composite materials. First, you have your acid etchant, which is going to be blue. It is 37% phosphoric acid. It's going to be in a syringe, and it is a blue gel, okay? You leave that on from 15 to 20 seconds on our prep after the doctor removes the decay, and we rinse the blue etchant off completely, leaving no residue behind, making sure you're picking up that mouth mirror to confirm that there is no residue left behind. Once you have rinsed it off and dried the prep thoroughly, you then want to proceed with your bonding agent. Okay, so this is going to be a prime and bond in one bottle. This is a one bottle system. If you are working with a liquid, you're going to need something to put it in. As you can see, this is our single dapping dish here. We're going to put a drop or maybe two of bonding agent into the dapping dish, and if you have a liquid, you're also going to need something to apply it with. Okay, so we will use this blue micro brush to collect the liquid bonding agent and apply it into our prep. After the bonding agent is when you would cure for the very first time. Okay, so you're going to cure. At that point is when our doctor would return. We would get our doctor and we would have ready the flowable composite. Okay, so this is the flowable composite, which is the thinner composite that is able to flow through a syringe. So we are going to hand this over to the doctor. The doctor is going to express the flowable composite into the prep. Once they have created a nice thin layer down at the prep, they are going to ask you to light cure. This is going to be our second light cure, okay, for the treatment. And last, you're going to hand over the composite gun. But first, you have to make sure you have your composite carpule, okay, compule, I'm sorry. This compule is the body, or also known as packable. You snap it into the gun. If it's new, it's always going to have a cap, a little rubber tip on it. You want to make sure that you express the first very itty bitty amount, but usually if it's been sitting there, this is hard, and it's nice for you to remove it before handing it over to the doctor. Okay, so you would hand it over to the doctor, allowing them to grab it like so, using it into the prep. Now, before you light cure for the last or third time, you're going to collect the gun, the composite gun, back from the doctor, and there's going to be a transferring of instruments, okay, depending on your doctor's preference. But the point is, there will be some plugging, condensing, shaping, and carving done to the prep before we follow up with the last light cure. Okay, and here is just our gauze that we use to collect the excess, and of course we need our main isolation using the cotton rolls. This is your composite setup. All right, so this portion of the video is going to be going over the instruments. Okay, so here to the left, these first three instruments is considered or classified as a basic setup. Okay, the first instrument is going to be your cotton pliers, and the next is going to be your mouth mirror, very tiny mirror. This is your new set of eyes. Next is going to be your explorer. Of course, always paying attention to the very tip of the instrument. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's very, very sharp. Be very careful when you're handling this explorer instrument. Okay, and then some doctors, most offices will add the articulating paper holder. We just call it the articulator, to the basic setup as well. This is to check the patient's bite, to check the patient's occlusion. Okay, this next instrument is the plastic instrument because it is also classified as a universal instrument. It has a plugger component. It also has a little round edge like a ball burnisher. It does have a flat end for interproximal carving. You can kind of do a little bit of everything with the plastic instrument. So there are some doctors, when placing a restoration, that will choose to just use this instrument and this instrument alone. It again all comes down to the doctor's preference. Okay, so this instrument, as you can see, it's very long, very slender, very thin. It is going to be perfect for the interproximal areas. So this is what we call an IPC instrument, interproximal carver. This, as you can see next, is the very flat-ended instrument, also known as a condenser or a plugger. This is double-ended, as you can see. So there's going to be one side that's a little larger than the other side, almost always. Occasionally you'll have both sides being the same size, but typically it's one large and one smaller side. This is the football burnisher. As you can see, it looks just like a football. So this is going to be basically a smoothing instrument to smooth things out, to make things a little shinier and prettier. It is very large in width to the point of it also being able to be used as a condensing instrument. So first, of course, the condenser is number one. But say for some reason you needed a backup plan or another instrument, you weren't really paying attention, well, you should be, but say you weren't paying attention and there was not a condenser in the pack, most doctors will be okay with following up and using the football burnisher instead. Okay, this is also can be used to burnish your matrix bands and so many other things. This is going to be your spoon excavator. So this is to remove soft stuff like decay, or if we're trying to get a liner material out of the tooth, but mainly decay, to manually remove decay. It is the spoon excavator. All right, or spoon. And last but not least is the clear discoid. So the clear discoid has its spade-like end, and then it's going to have that very spoon or paddle-like end. Okay, this is again the restorative instruments for our chapter 4.